Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's do this. So, this program is called How to Get Clients, How to Safeguard Your Practice, Your People Helping Practice from Going Broke. Discover the untaught secrets for getting more clients and accelerating your business. So, right off the bat, I have a problem with the personal development industry. So, I've got a bone to pick with the therapy, the coaching, and the consulting profession as a whole. The people helping profession has serious gaps in our education. So, problem number one, we aren't taught marketing. We aren't taught how to get clients. I spent 7 years getting my psychology degrees, and after 7 years, I realized that I had 33 classes in clinical psychology, and not one class taught me how do I get a client. Not one class taught me how do I grow my business. And so it kept me broke for a long time because I had this idea that if you just are great at what you do, then you're going to have your practice flooded with clients. And that is not the case. The second challenge that people have is that, or that this industry has, is that there's all these cheap certification programs online that are cranking out incompetent coaches. We have 100,000 life coaches and people still don't know how to get their client results. And we've got these cheap hypnosis certification programs. Let me tell you a quick story. So this was about 15 years ago. I was on a bus being taken from an airport to a convention center because I was attending a hypnosis conference. And while I was sitting next to this woman was very excited. She was talking about how she just completed her hypnosis certification. So I took my earbud out and I said, "Congratulations, welcome to our community. I'm sure you're going to help a lot of people." And she said, "Thank you." And then she went back and she started telling all these other people that she's also excited because she is teaching her first hypnosis certification program this weekend. And then I took my earbud back out and I'm like, "How in the world are you doing a certification program when you just got your degree?" And she said, "Well, they offered a certification program where that if you get your hypnosis certification, or if you complete our hypnotherapy certification program and you stay this weekend for $300, we'll teach you how to run a hypnosis school, right? A train the trainer program." And I'm like, "Wait a second. So you're training new hypnotists, people to be hypnotists, and you've never had any clients?" She's like, "Yeah." "And you got a certification program for $300? "Yeah." "Oh my gosh." Right? This is the problem. We're going through all these different, we have all these online programs. I saw one the other day. Get your certification in neuroplasticity training coach, right? People are making up names, and then you're going to get this and this and this, and you're going to be a coach, and it's $47. Now, you can't get a bachelor's degree in anything for under these days like $50,000. I have a kid that's in college right now. It's going to cost me $100,000 for him to get a bachelor's degree. Now, education is way too expensive. These colleges are gouging us for sure. That's happening. But on the other end, you have all these coaches and these internet marketers who are cranking out these cheap certification programs, and it's ruining our profession because people are not getting good results. And so now they're skeptical. Now they're resistant. Now it's harder for you to get a client. Now it's harder for your products and services to convert because people are so skeptical. They've had so many bad experiences that now they're incredibly mistrusting. And this is one of the problems with it. The third problem is what I call the great lie, that if you're great at what you do, your business will skyrocket. How many of you feel like you are called to make a difference? How many of you feel like you are called to do this, like something in your heart, something because of your experiences, you've had your pain and now you're channeling it into purpose, right? You have taken the messes of your life and you're turning it into your message. How many of you have had that experience? Probably a lot of you, right? Or you feel like God has put a calling in your heart that you have to get out there and you've got to share your message, your gift, something with the world. And you want to turn it into a business so that you aren't reliant on anybody to take care of you. You can take care of yourself. That's great. So what we're all taught then is that if you're just really good at what you do and you keep building up your skills, then you're going to have lots and lots of clients. And that is false. That belief kept me broke for 8 years straight because all I did was build my my skills, but I didn't know how to build my marketing and I didn't know how to continue to develop my mindset. And so I struggled. And then that led to problem number 4. This problem that we have of not knowing what to do, of not knowing how to grow our practice, of not knowing how to get past our own fears, our own limiting beliefs, procrastination, imposter syndrome, confusion, not knowing where to spend our time. You might be really talented, talk to people. There's all kinds of ways that we get sabotaged. So it's caused a lot of problems with our own confidence, which means that a lot of talented life coaches, business consultants, and entrepreneurs in the people helping profession are no longer in the profession. We go broke, we lose our practice, and we just run out of time, energy, and hope. So even though my clients were getting amazing results, me running my small hypnosis practice for many years, I was broke for 8 years straight because I did not know how to grow my practice. I did not know how to get clients. Now there's a million marketing programs out there and they tell you all this stuff, but I find that people aren't doing it because it's still confusing. And so I decided to find the missing gaps in all these programs and fill in those gaps for you. And I'll explain why in just a little bit. So do you ever feel disappointed or frustrated by questions like this, where you're laying up in the middle of the night wondering, how am I going to get more clients? How am I going to grow my business? Why am I trying so hard and nothing is working? What can I do to stand out in this noisy marketplace? There's so many people out there that are coaches and consultants and therapists and hypnotists and NLP practitioners and energy workers and healers. What if I've tried everything and it's still not working? Why am I so afraid? I've had extremely successful people say, I'm so afraid all the time. On the outside, my life looks amazing, but on the inside, I'm feeling like I'm a tin can being crushed by a vice every single day. If you don't have this information, I'm not sugarcoating it anymore. I'm getting older and I'm teaching all the time. And so I'm finding that I'm just telling it how it is now, at least my version of the truth. But I have been in this game for 35 years. I have one of the top practices in the country. I'm one of the top mindset coaches in the world. And so I'm just going to tell you my experience of what I've seen from coaching thousands and thousands of people over the years is that without the information that I'm about to share with you and without the mindset shift, you're going to go in endless circles forever until you eventually run out of money or energy or hope. Most of the common struggles that we deal with as coaches and consultants, people in the people helping profession, the personal struggles, we struggle to put ourselves out there. People are afraid to make videos, for example. We charge too little for our services. We devalue what you're really worth. Our time management is not that great, right? We have imposter syndrome. Who am I to be able to do this? We procrastinate. We try to help everybody instead of focusing on a specific person, a specific issue, a specific niche, or working on our community or on our specific industry market, right? Instead, we want to just teach everybody, and you can't afford to just teach everybody. And then we don't believe in ourselves enough. That's the biggest problem most everybody has. Professionally, we're struggling because we're dabbling with advertising instead of being consistent and knowing exactly what to do. We have inconsistent posting because we're told we should post on social media. So it's random and there's a system. We don't have a system. We're using a hope and pray plan. Oh, I hope somebody calls me today. God, please send me a client. I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent today. We hire VAs because we've been told that you can hire someone for $1, and they're just going to post for you. But one, that doesn't work anymore. Two, that's not fair to pay someone $1. And three, random posting is not going to get you clients. You're not interested in likes. You're not interested in followers. You're not interested in leads. You're interested in getting clients, right? And so much of the stuff that we do does not put money in your pocket. There's no list building. There's no client avatar that we've mapped out. We don't have any automated systems in place because we're never taught how to do that. We're relying on referrals for sales, which is only 20% of your business. So it will barely keep you above water if you do have lots of referrals and not leading an effective mission or campaign, which I'm going to talk about how to do that today. All of this leads to us lowering our prices, losing clients, leaving money on the table, and getting lost in the crowd. So what happens when that happens is that our profession becomes a commodity. And this is this is a disaster, because when you have a commoditized service, it basically means that people think you're just like everybody else, right? You're like everybody else, so you're replaceable. Who's the cheapest? And when clients make purchasing decisions based only on price and who's the cheapest, your only way to compete is to keep lowering your price. which is a bad idea. So if someone compares you to your competition and thinks pretty much these two options are the same, they're going to go with the cheaper option. The commodities are Amazon products. You go on Amazon, you find two products. You find the product you want, who's selling it, how many reviews, and then who's cheapest, and then you buy. Gas stations, who's 3 cents cheaper? I'm going to go to that one across the street. Cellular plans, same thing. We think they're all the same. They're all using the same towers. We're going to go with the cheapest price. Okay. This creates a race to the bottom mentality and puts tremendous financial strain on us, because if you're constantly lowering your prices, you got to get more clients. You're feeling resentful. You're never making the money that you could make to be able to put into advertising to expand your reach. And it just creates so many problems. Plus, it sucks to work so hard to do so much good and then to feel like you're always just barely making it, right? Feast or famine, paycheck to paycheck. That is not why we got into this game. And this is important. Client results become worse when you keep lowering your prices, because there's a belief out there that you get what you pay for. If I charge you $50 for a coaching program, or I charge you $500 for a coaching program, which one do you think you're gonna, and you pay for it, which one do you think you're gonna take more serious? Which one are you definitely gonna show up for? Which one are you gonna definitely do whatever the coach asks you to do? The $500 one, because of perceived value. Cheap sessions equal cheap results. So I want you to put your hand in the air, and I want you to repeat after me. Those who pay attention. Good, and make sure you say it. Don't just put your hand up, all right? Because this has to be more than an intellectual exercise. If you're not paying attention and you're not participating, then you won't do any of the things that I'm going to share with you. But if you put your hand up and I say, I'm in, so I want you to put your hand in the air and I want you to say, I'm in. Okay, good. We don't even know what we're into, right? But you'll know that if you don't know me yet, you'll know that when I say I'm in, most people are like, oh, I'm in, because what I'm teaching is good, it works, and I'm extremely ethical. And so anything that I offer you is going to be really good for you. All right. So, but we have to be engaged. All right. So back to the program. So those who pay attention. So we've got to make sure that we are charging enough for people to take what you do seriously. All right. So how are you going to stand out with all these problems? I'm going to teach you 3 forces today, 3 ways that you can stand out. And it doesn't matter if you're starting from scratch or you're starting in the middle or you're already doing this, you're going to pick up something that is going to be a golden nugget for you. So first, by providing unmatched value, we're going to be givers. Okay. So many people in the world are takers. We're going to be givers. Put your hand in the air and say, I'm a giver. I'm a giver. Okay. I'm a giver. It's important that you say that, James. It's important that you say that, Danielle. It's important that we say that, Wendy. I'm a giver, right? By providing unmatched value and differentiating your business, you can outlast any shift in the market, including your competition, the recessions that we're going to be dealing with, and becoming a commodity. So you must offer something to your market that can't be compared. It's so good you can't compare it to your competition. Like, people have to think you are obviously different. And I'm going to show you how to set yourself up that way. You must provide unmatched value to your prospects and your clients so you become the obvious choice. You are forcing your community to stop and think that you are different, that you're doing things that no one else is doing. And then you'll command the attention of the biggest names in your industry when you show up as a giver and when you show up as someone who is an educational marketer. That's the mindset shift you have to adopt. I'm no longer a coach or a consultant. I'm an educational marketer. I am someone who educates my ideal clients. I'm someone who gets out there in front of the right people, the people that you want to work with, and the problems that you can solve them with the best. And you're going to educate. You're going to keep giving them so much value. See, the old sales model was, give me your credit card and I'll give you the good stuff. The new sales model is, I'm going to give you my best stuff and you're going to get so much value that you'll pay me whatever I charge because you understand how much it's worth. That's the new model. Okay. When you do that and you do it consistently for a while, you're going to start getting the attention of the movers and the shakers in your community. If you continue to educate for a long time in a big way, you'll start commanding the attention of the biggest names in your industry or field. I'd like you to watch this video of some friends of mine.
Hey, this is John Asraf, New York Times best-selling author, and you may remember me from the smash hit movie The Secret. Tim Scher is one of my go-to guys, not only to work with my private clients on helping them get rid of limiting beliefs, traumas, or anything else that is in their way. Tim has been instrumental helping my thousands of clients with his hypnotherapy mastery. He knows how to help people break free from what is holding them back.
Now, I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of people. And what I have today for this premiere show, the very first weekly Zero Limits Living television show, is one of my favorite people on the entire planet. This man is the greatest living hypnotist in the world. And Tim Scher has written 6 or more books. Even today, he gave a keynote speech somewhere, did interviews somewhere, and made time for this interview. And he wrote One Belief Away. This is a man who knows how to help you get into your unconscious mind and change the wiring, because when you change that wiring, you get different results on the outside.
Hi, I'm Dr. John DeMartini. If there's any part of you that would love to upgrade your life, live your full potential, and gain the ultimate advantage in all 7 areas of your life, then it's time to study the wisdom of the masters. Now, Tim Scher and Joe Vitale, who are friends of mine, are such masters, and they've now joined their forces and their knowledge and their wisdom to help you create an inner sense of freedom and prosperity in your life, and to help you gain the power of your unconscious mind. Their new book, One Belief Away, is a book you can dip your hand into, and you know you can't put your hand in a pot of glue without some of the glue sticking, but you can put your hand in this book and pull out insights that will stick with you for the rest of your life. They'll be powerful and meaningful, and now with this book, you can reach your fullest potential. So it's time now to take advantage of the masters and put your hand in the pot of glue and actually go get right now one belief away.
Hello, I'm Dennis Waitley. In my work with Olympians, professional athletes, astronauts, POWs, entrepreneurs, Fortune 500 executives, and youth groups, I've discovered how we either talk ourselves into or out of the winner's circle every day. Mental practice outside the arena is the edge that marks the champions. I asked my friend and colleague Tim Scher to walk you through the basics. Tim is a prominent business growth specialist, leadership coach, keynote speaker, podcaster, and author. And be sure to look for his new book, One Belief Away. I can't think of anyone better to give you an easy-to-navigate, fun tutorial. Stay tuned, and you'll know why when Tim speaks, I watch and listen.
It shows what a master you are at this, because you've been studying it for so long that the deepest, most profound insights just kind of pour out of you. You know, like it's just another day, right? Another day in Bob's world. So it's been extraordinary, and thank you so much for being a part of this program today.
Thank you, Tim.
If you ever have a chance to work with him, get certified by him, or simply use him as somebody who helps you with some of your blocks, I highly, highly recommend him.
Those testimonials are mind-blowingly awesome, and it took me many years to grab the attention of those people, and because of what I was doing. And so to get those kinds of testimonials from the icons of personal growth and the personal development movement is extraordinary. I like want to cry and pinch myself every time I watch that. And so, but I'm sharing that with you just so that you know that what I'm about to teach you works. Okay. I've sold millions of dollars of products and services, and I started out not knowing anything about how to help people, not knowing anything about business, not knowing anything about how to grow a practice. And I had to learn the hard way for decades. And now that I have done that, and I've facilitated over 16,000 coaching sessions and hundreds of groups training companies in corporate America, I've amassed a huge amount of experience. And now I'm looking back at the industry now that I'm a little older, and I'm going, where are the gaps here? How do I fill in those gaps so that we can band together and help rid the world of endless, needless emotional suffering? Because there is so much suffering in the world that does not need to happen, and we can do something about it, but not the way that we are doing it. We have to do it different. Okay, so when you put it out there, for me, I am not an average coach. I am not an average hypnotist. I am a one belief away hypnotist. I have created a whole new category that's a new method that's better than hypnosis, that's better than all the different approaches that are out there, because I've tested it tens of thousands of times, and so have my students. And so we are the special forces of personal transformation. So your goal is to get your prospects, turn them into clients by making them stop and think that you are so much better than the competition, and that they have to work with you. You do not chase success. When you chase somebody, what do? They run. So we don't chase success. We don't chase money. We don't chase clients. We have to draw it to it. We have to attract it to us. And we attract people to us through being an educational marketer. Put your hand in the air and say, I'm an educational marketer. Go on, put it up there. Thank you. Good. It's important that you say that and that you do that. Now, it's important because I don't know about you, but when I started out, I didn't like marketing. I thought it was yucky. I didn't even like really talking about money because I thought I was doing this healing, beautiful work, healing people and saving lives. And then I had to charge them money, and I felt like I tainted it and made it gross, right? But that was limiting beliefs because I didn't grow up with money. So I had all kinds of pain around money, and then it kept me broke and struggling. Even when I made a lot of money, I found a way to get rid of it, or lose it or spend it because I had too many limiting beliefs. So I had to change that around. And we'll talk about limiting beliefs a lot because it's even more important than your marketing skills. But today I'm talking about marketing. All right. So how can you use your unmatched value proposition, the value that you're going to give your clients, so that you're impossible to compare, so that no one else can compare to you because you give so much dang value, right? So your new identity is I'm an educator. In fact, if you think of yourself that way already, great. But most of us are calling ourselves coaches or hypnotists or therapists. But really, you have to be an online educator to get clients. So let's talk about marketing. What is marketing? Marketing is simply attraction. You're putting out amazing content, you're solving problems, you're helping people already, and you're getting more and more attention because you keep educating people, right? As you educate people, then you are going to attract more people. As you continue to attract more people and you keep educating more people, then your practice starts to grow. As your practice starts to grow, you start to make more money. As you take that money and you learn how to build your team, or you learn how to build systems, or you learn how to use advertising dollars to extend your reach, then you start to build wealth. As you take that wealth and you use it to reach to increase your impact, so that you're reaching more people, you're helping more people, you have a larger advertising budget so you can reach more people, then you start to build more wealth, you're helping more people, and all of a sudden you're looking at your life and you're realizing that I have wealth and I have impact. My dreams are coming true. I'm actually living my dreams. I no longer have a job, J-O-B, just over broke. What I have is I have a career, I have a passion, I have a mission that I'm on, right? So my mission is not to get another client. My mission is to end needless emotional suffering. My mission is to build an army of healers who are going to go out there and band together and collectively rid the world of needless emotional suffering, right? That's my mission. And so you must take on the role of an educator, an advocate, a marketer, someone who's on a mission if you're going to amplify your message and your practice. So let me give you an example of this. Now, I haven't promoted my hypnosis practice for about 5 years. I have a place in Indianapolis and I have a location in Los Angeles. But I spent most of my life in Indiana. And so I haven't marketed my practice for at least 5 years. But a few months ago, I just typed in hypnosis and Indy for Indianapolis, and I came up #1 organically. No ads, no nothing. 5 years. I'm still coming up #1 because of how much educational marketing I did. I was everywhere talking to everyone about hypnosis, the power of your mind, anxiety, fear, childhood trauma, abuses that we go through, how to put the pieces of our heart back together, because that's my specialty, helping people overcome anxiety, bad habits, and childhood trauma, PTSD. That's what I'm really good at, because I had a lot of that and I needed help with it. And so I figured it out. Right. And so when you're doing educational marketing and you have really great skills, then you're going to help a lot of people, and then you turn those successes into advertising. And when you do that, you really stand out. Remember, I said, if you want to stand out, you have to get people to say, what are they doing that's so much better than everybody else? I got to work with them. So if you take a look at my testimonials, I have 65. The person that's next has 2. If you look at someone and they got 65 testimonials and someone else has 2, who you going with? Right? And I got those testimonials through using my One Belief Away method. So we're going to bridge the gap, right? From where your clients want to be to where they are, and then we're going to close that gap. Okay, and we do that through educational marketing. Your educational marketing is going to become a conversion tool. It converts prospects to clients. Your clients have a gap between where they are and where they want to be, in your educational marketing, your videos, your one sheets, your TikTok videos, right? Your blog posts, your everything that you give them is designed to help solve their pain or give them more pleasure. It's to help them get to their desired outcome. Now, when you have these educational tools that you put together, and it's easy to put them together now more than ever before, it positions you as an expert. It demonstrates that you're the authority. It makes you more of a brain surgeon than a general practitioner. Like my One Belief Away hypnotists and coaches are the special forces of personal transformation. Everybody else is kindergarten as far as I'm concerned, because now there's some talented people out there in every profession, but we're able to make everybody that is a One Belief Away practitioner an incredibly effective coach, because the tools are so incredibly good, and the general public doesn't know that it even exists, right? And so that's why I'm out there campaigning and changing this. So, and then your educational tools help your clients to get to know you better and trust you and like you and know what you're all about before you ever work with them. It's called, winning before they arrive. Like, I'm doing this whole program for you. I didn't charge you anything for it. And this was a lot of work. And this is a different version of the program. I was up all night creating a new version of this PowerPoint to make it even better for you, right? And I'm not charging you anything for it. I'm giving you tremendous value up front. That's what you want to do for your clients, okay? So remember, brain surgeons earn 30% more than regular doctors, and they work 20% less. If you want to work less and make more money, say I. Put your hand in the air and say I. If you want to work less and make more money, say I. Good. Now, me too. Okay. So when you have educational tools, it eliminates the competition. You're not really, you don't want to compete against others anyway. You want to compete against how good you were yesterday. You always want to strive to be better today than you were yesterday. It gives you the competitive edge. By giving people resources, it answers their burning questions ahead of time before they work with you. It answers questions that they didn't even know that they had. When you get people thinking in new ways, we're like, oh, I never thought of that before. All of a sudden, they stop thinking of you as someone who's trying to sell them something, and they start thinking of you as a trusted advisor or an expert or an authority, right? So your tools are going to solve problems and provide solutions, strengthen relationships, and build value. So you can create all kinds of different tools to empower people. It just depends on what you like to do. If you like to write books, right? Do blogs, write articles every week. If you like to get on camera, then do videos. Videos are hot. Short 1-minute videos, reels on Facebook and Instagram stories. That's where it's at right now. That's what's working the best. If you like to do phone calls, then you drive people to free consultations. If you like to just have audio, then you create audio programs, right? So there's so many ways. If you like to work with groups, then you run groups, right? There's so many ways that you can do this. If you don't want to talk to anybody at all, you can create landing pages and just sell products where you don't even have to be there, right? So there's lots and lots of ways for you to build value and to educate people. So I'm going to show you a bunch of things that I've done. So you can create educational videos to gain exposure. So what you want to do is teach and share the best of what you have to offer. So I take 1-minute videos. I do 1-minute videos on TikTok. Before, I used to take videos, put them on Facebook, spend $500 or $1,000 to try to figure out, do people like this video, right? And if they do, great, I get some clients. And if they don't, I'm out $500 to $1,000. I don't do that anymore. I learned that when TikTok came out, you can make a bunch of 1-minute videos for free, and then you find out which ones people like. Like I made videos and a couple of them have 1 million views. A couple of them went viral. Like, holy cow, right? Now I know they like that video. Now I don't have to test that video on Facebook because I tested it for free on TikTok. I take that video, I put it on Facebook, I throw money behind it because I already got 1 million views, so I know people like it. Okay, so you can test for free. These are things that you learn as you go about it. What I do with my students is I teach them the shortcuts so that you don't have to do the painful trial and error approach, which is expensive and it takes forever. So you can create these videos on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all over the place. You can also create podcasts and do interviews, right? You can do interviews on YouTube, on LinkedIn. You can have a podcast that you set up. Now, I don't have a lot of followers on all my social media sites because I was never going after followers. I don't care how many followers I have. I was going after relationships. I was building relationships with Les Brown, and Mitzi Perdue, who's a billionaire, right? And Mark Sanborn and Dennis Waitley and all these people, Brian Tracy, all these people that you see that are giving me testimonials now, Bob Proctor. I was building relationships, collaborative partners with the best trainers in the world. So I'll have like 1,200 followers on YouTube, but I've been in front of millions of people because of my partners who have millions of followers. So you can use this to get interviews, right? You might have a podcast that has 5 followers and you can land one of these amazing people who will do your podcast for you, and it really builds your credibility. So you can also take advantage of millions of dollars of free advertising by getting on TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, and podcasts. I've personally been on TV over 50 times, over 50 times, because I am a maniac. And I am constantly wanting to end needless suffering because I know somebody's out there hurting right now. I know somebody's out there that's, thinking about ending it. I know somebody is out there that's holding back because they don't think they're good enough or worthy, and they are. So it drives me every day. I got to get out there. I got to help you. Now I've turned my attention exclusively to helping coaches and counselors and therapists and life and business consultants, people in people helping profession, because I can't see enough clients by myself, but I can train an army of coaches who can go take care of all these clients. So you can use TV and you think, well, I got to get on the Today Show. No, you don't. You can get the same PR and publicity going to your local news station, making friends with the executive producer there, adding tremendous value for their viewers, and getting on a show. You're there for 2 or 3 minutes. You learn how to talk in sound bites. You give a really good value. Here's 3 tips. You get it out without having a heart attack. And then you post it afterwards like crazy that you've been on TV. If you were on TV and you're trying to get the same client and some other coach is trying to get the same client and they haven't been on TV, you're going to look like the expert because you were on TV, or you have a book, or you wrote a seminar. And so they're going to go to you because you are an educational marketer. Put your hand in the air and say, I'm an educational marketer. Good. When you look at all the stuff that I've done, some people will say, I'm never going to be able to do that. I want you to look at what I've done because it took years for me to do all this stuff. I'm just showing it to you quickly. Okay. So I like to say I have a lot more hair when I started, but I'm looking at these pictures and apparently I didn't. But I want you to look at these pictures and I want you to think to yourself, I'm next. Put your hand in the air and I want you to say, I'm next. I'm doing this next, right? If you say that, you'll do it. If you don't, you won't. And that's fine. Your dream will stay a fantasy.
All right, welcome back. The moment has arrived here. This is video just a few minutes ago of our friend Jim in our little meeting room here undergoing hypnosis to see if he can overcome his fear of spiders. So
okay, I'm going to put my arm underneath yours. It's going to crawl right on your arm and you're going to be fine. Okay, it's going to crawl right on your arm and you're going to be fine. It's going to crawl right on your arm, and then I'm going to put it on your arm, then I'm going to put it right back on mine. Okay, right back on mine. Okay, take your breath in. Good. Take your picture. Okay, now right back on mine. Oops, right back on mine.
There it goes.
That wasn't so bad.
That wasn't so bad.
Fighting.
And he's gonna just bump him. See? And he bumps him. What's he do? Nothing. He was doing like Beyonce. Did you see that? Yeah, that's right.
Jim, we're proud of you.
Congratulations.
When you use the one belief away method like that, and you start demonstrating how fast people can create results in their life, then it starts to build up your credibility very quickly, and people start sending their friends and their family and their neighbors and their colleagues to you, or you get them, hey, can you work with my sales team? You start creating momentum because you're doing something different than what everybody else is used to experiencing. You can also do the one-to-many approach, where if you haven't done my 3-day program, you should definitely participate in that. It's my Practice Amplifier program. The next one's coming up in September. And what we do is we show you how to be a communicator and how to be an influencer, so that you are communicating instead of just one-to-one, it's one-to-many, right? So stages is one way of doing that. I've done TED Talks. I've talked from coast to coast and in Europe, and teaching people how to use the power of their mind to create their life by design. So you can talk to one person at a time, or you can talk to 1,000 people at a time. Right? Now you can do that with video as well, right? So I could talk to one person, or I could talk to all of you at the same time. And so that's the power of leveraging your time, right? And so we can use stages to do this. If you want to use stages, if you like to write, put what you've learned into a book, right? You might not have any testimonials right now. You might be the testimonial. So you tell your story, right? You talk about this, but you find that we're solving problems. These books are all solving problems, like the Cure for Self-Sabotage. My clients are always sabotaging themselves. So this is how you stop that. Power of optimism. People have so much fear. So I talk to how to be a little more optimistic, right? Or we can't lose weight. I've helped thousands of people lose tens of thousands of pounds. And these are people that could never lose weight, and I helped them, right? Or, so these books are all solving a problem. Now you can create online programs and courses. I've made like 60 different programs and courses over the years, because every time someone had an issue, my kid has ADHD. Do you think you can help them? Yes. And then I'd make a program, on helping them that they could listen to this at night, and it helps them with focus, and it builds their confidence, and it helps them listen better, right? And so I made a program on that. I pull my hair out, right? I throw up in jars and hide them in the closet. I had a horrible experience, going through a Catholic school when I was growing up. I have these limiting beliefs that money is the root of all evil. And so now I can't make any money because I feel like God's mad at me if I do that. People have so many false beliefs in their head that they don't even know are there because of what their brain absorbed in childhood. So we can create programs that solve problems. You can give your programs away. You can sell them for a low price. You can sell them for some of them for a higher price, because you should sell what they're worth instead of racing to the bottom and always, go cheap, cheap, cheap. You should add value. Don't cut the price, add more value. Okay. So that you can turn your programs and products into your sales team, so that people are going through your programs while you're sleeping at night, building a relationship with you. And then you build a program once, and then people go through it hundreds or thousands of times. You only had to build it once. You got to leverage your time right? And then every time you provide a post, a video, an educational piece, you drive people to an opt-in page where you can collect their email, so that you can continue the conversation with them. If you build a large following on social media sites like Facebook, they own that traffic, not you. They own those emails, not you. And they can close your site down anytime they want. And it's happened. I've had friends that had 1 million followers on Facebook and 1 million followers on a podcast, and they just shut them down, and they lost all of it. It took them 10 years to build that, and they lost all of it. So we protect ourselves by getting people onto your email list, so that you can send ongoing emails that deepen relationships and turn prospects into clients, right? So it's incredible. Usually when you're posting, you tell a story, you make a point, and you have one call to action, which is download this free PDF, get this free video, get this free program. Here's a free ticket to my next event, right? So you drive them to that, you give them enough value that they give you their email, so that then you can continue to send them emails and continue the conversation. Okay. So when you have a website or you have a landing page, you really shouldn't drive people to a website. You should drive people to landing pages. A landing page has one option: do this or leave. That's it. Do this, take this, put your email in here, get the freebie, or leave. Watch this video or leave. That's one option. When you go to a website, there's too many options. About me, contact me, what I do, services I provide. There's too many places to click, and then people will get confused, and a confused mind takes no action. So we got to keep having clarity, right? So if you're going to have a website, it should look something like this. Okay, you're one belief away from living your best life now. It tells you exactly what we're going to do, or how to get rid of this and have more of this, or how to have more of this without this, right? How to double your income without working 1,000,000 hours a week, how to lose weight without having to give up sugar, whatever it is, a headline that grabs their attention right away. Okay, so how to be free from the trauma of your past without having to go to therapy for 20 years. Okay, something that grabs their attention, and then give me your email, right? But you do it in an elegant way, right? So this one here is enter your info below and instantly discover how to eliminate self-sabotage and get what you want faster. Okay, so we're going to eliminate self-sabotage. We're going to get whatever you want faster, and then you're going to get instant access to a hypnosis course and a free session. Wow, I get a course and a free recorded session, all for my email. I'm going to do that. Okay, so you get their email, and then you carry on the conversation. If you scroll down the page on the website, then what you do is you start answering questions that people have, and then you start asking them questions and solving problems that they didn't realize was a problem. See, most people are solving X when Y is the real issue. Like a lot of coaches turn to affirmations and self-hypnosis programs to solve a problem. But that's not the real issue, right? You can tell yourself, I'm a winner, I'm a millionaire, I'm awesome 1,000,000 times a day, and it won't do much to change your life if you don't change the unconscious beliefs that are underneath that are driving those negative thoughts to begin with. Okay, so I want you to imagine a weed, and most people are cutting the top off of a weed and it just grows back. Or they're throwing dirt on that weed. So they're saying positive affirmations. I'm a millionaire. And then your brain says, no, you're not. You're fooling yourself. It's never going to happen. Right? And so then the weeds just grow back. What we do is we use the one belief away method to pull the weed out at the root. We pull the weed out at the root, and then we plant a flower instead. Right? We pull it out at the root and we plant a flower instead. So that changes it. So when my clients would always say, I know what to do, I can't get myself to do it. So I wrote that on the website. What's stopping me? And then I start to teach them. It's your unconscious beliefs from childhood that are interfering with your success. And most people don't know that's happening. Even coaches and consultants. They're like, no, I have a great mindset. That's not the issue. And then I work with them, and that is the issue. People don't know what they don't know because you can't see your own blind spots. So we want to get them into our newsletter any way we can. So we give them a free program. We give them some kind of value. Some of you have maybe gone through my Power of Your Unconscious Mind video course. It was a program I put together. I was going to sell it for $97. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to give it to people. I'm going to give them an actual program, right? Not tell them I'm going to give you something free and then just take you to a sales page pitch, which is what a lot of people do. You know, what they call clickbait. This is actually a program that gives value, right? And so you can get that program. If you want it, let me know. We can send you a link, right? And the mesmerizing mind secrets checklist, I did this a lot for people I was working with in companies because I always want the best mindset they can have so that they can lead better or sell better. And so you want to have something that grabs that email, okay? Now, here's what you do once you have the email. This is where we start to build up a system. This is stuff that people don't usually teach, okay? So you set up an automated email sequence. That option, if you have an email newsletter, so if you have MailChimp, if you have Constant Contact, if you have MailerLite, I think you can use it for free up to 500 people. ConversionSoft, ConvertKit, there's lots of providers where you can collect their email. It has a space where you store the emails. It has a place where you can email out to everybody on their site. It has a place where you can build in those landing pages, those opt-in pages. And it has a site where a part of that program where you can set up automated campaigns, right? Which is basically a series of emails that you write once, but then they go out to everybody. So if you get my Power of Your Unconscious Mind program, it automatically adds you to an email sequence that I wrote once. I wrote every one of these emails, but I wrote it once and it goes out to thousands of people now. So if you go and you get that program, you're going to get email 1. Then tomorrow you're going to get email 2. And then the next day you're going to get email 3. And then the next day you're going to get email 4. And I don't have to do anything. It's going out automatically. But it will feel like I'm emailing you personally and I'm building a relationship with you. You wanted to know how to get rid of self-sabotage. So I talk about that. You know, there's 10 sabotages that I found after having, 1,000 conversations or 10,000 conversations with people. I noticed that there was these 10 ways that we sabotage ourselves. If you flip it around, it's 10 of the most powerful ways to use the power of your mind to create your life by design. So I start telling you what they are. Sabotage number 1, the next day, sabotage number 2. It's all pre-written. There's like 22 emails in there, right? So you build up a sequence so it's automated. So you do it once and it just keeps going over and over and over again. Because you don't want to send 22 emails, 1 a day, to every client that you work with or every person that might be interested in working with you manually. You wouldn't have time to do anything else but send emails. So we set it up automatically. Okay. Then if you like to talk to people, once you've built value, then you drive them to a phone call. So you give them a one belief away consultation, a free hypnosis consultation, a breakthrough consultation, right? A business assessment consultation, a discovery call. Don't just call it a free consultation. Name it something sexy so that people want to come to it, right? So that people want to attend. So you want to use your marketing, right? Give it some flair. But in order to get people to talk to you, because that's going to feel like a big step, especially if they don't know you at all, right? But if they're really in pain and they're hot, they're ready to buy right now. There's cold, warm, and hot traffic. So if they're hot and they're ready to buy right now, then drive them to that call and get them on the phone, right? So this is on one of my pages. Does this sound like you? You're a smart, talented professional, but anxiety and insecurity sabotage your momentum or your peace of mind. Maybe you're in control of one area of your life, but feel completely out of control in another, and you don't know what to do about it. Maybe you've worked on yourself and tried traditional approaches to remove past trauma, but find yourself still going in the same go nowhere circles. We can help. Our proven one belief away method is the most effective approach available for releasing you from anxiety, bad habits, and your past so you can thrive. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation now. Once they schedule a call, it should go to a confirmation page because you click on that button, it takes them to a scheduler, right? So you pay to have an online schedule. It's like $12 a month. And then that schedule syncs with your smartphone. So it's on your smartphone. And then you look in your calendar and okay, good. I have a consultation. Or I have 10 consultations this week, right? And that's exciting. What they do is once they schedule the consultation call with you, they immediately automatically, because you set it up this way, get directed to a confirmation page or a thank you page that says, congratulations, your spot is saved. More importantly, congratulations for committing to transforming your business and your life, whatever it takes. Right? So this is my page. So I'm talking to coaches and consultants, right, who are ready to take their business to the next level and get serious about it. All right. And so then you have a video and you make it feel personal, right? And the video is like, hey, it's Tim Scher. I'm so excited to work with you. This is going to be incredible. I'm going to help you to have amazing breakthroughs. You should expect to have a really significant breakthrough from our very first session because you're just one belief away from having a huge, significant breakthrough in your life. I'm super excited to work with you, and I'll see you soon, right? And now everybody sees that video. I only made it once. Everybody sees it. Now I'm building the trust. I'm getting you excited about showing up for your phone call. As you scroll down underneath that video, I also have training. I'm like, hey, you just scheduled an appointment. You're ready to go. You're hot, right? Let's strike while the iron's hot. I got some training for you. We might not be able to meet for a week, so I want to get you going. Okay, so here's 9 video series I put together that solves the biggest problems you're having right now. And then they click on that, watch the free training, and they're already getting enrolled. They're already learning who you are. They're learning your process. They're learning about themselves. They're learning what is getting in their way, the real issues that they're struggling with, how your solution helps. You're answering questions that they have and getting rid of resistance and objections. So by the time they get to talk to you, Not only are they excited, not only do they know that you are an expert, but they're ready to buy because you solved their questions and you got rid of their objections already. They just want to know what's it cost and when can we start. Most everybody isn't doing this. If you already have this in place, raise your hand. So 1, 2, okay? And I know we have more people on here. Not everybody has their camera on because not everybody's good at following instructions. Okay, so, but usually you'll have 2 out of 10 or 20 because really 3% of the population is doing this and 97% are not, right? So it's really about 3% are doing this. Most are not. So which side are you in? Now, another huge part of this is you want to keep showing as much social proof as possible. You want to keep showing that your result works. And the best way to do that is to collect testimonials. Work for the testimonials, not the money. Work for the testimonials. The only way your clients will give you a testimonial is if you give them amazing results and you turn them into a raving fan, right? And so you educate and empower, and then you use those success stories in your marketing to show that your process works. It's very important. And then as you continue to educate and inspire, you continue to network with other people that are, big shots in the industry, and they start giving you testimonials, then all of a sudden you go to a whole other level. And that's what happened for me, right? But it didn't come to me. I went to it. I'm not an order taker. I'm a campaign creator. I'm a mountain mover. I'm a mission maker, right? So I'm someone who thinks I'm next. So I want you to put your hand in the air and I want you to say, I'm next. Good. You're next at what? At being an educational marketer. So say, I'm an educational marketer. Excellent. Very good, Helen. Excellent. All right. And then you start, and of course, my mission now is to have the success through my students, right? I've already had the awards and been on stages and made money and done all that fun, exciting stuff. So now my goal is to help my students have those experiences so that we can have a larger impact on the world. And I love it when one of my students graduates from our hypnosis certification or our One Belief Away method certification and says, I just landed 2 clients, right? 3 days after they graduate and they're making $3,000-$4,000. That doesn't happen when you graduate with a bachelor's degree. By the way, you might get a job, but you know what you get when you bachelor's degree? You get told you got to get a master's degree. That's what you get told. So I know I have both of those. So what does this mean? It means that your new opportunity to differentiate yourself from your competition is to provide unmatched value as an educator. Okay. So what do you think when someone tells you that they're an author? They do seminars, they write books, they host events, they send you guides that solve your problems. You think, well, that person is an expert. They're experienced. They're knowledgeable. They must be in the top of their game. They're different from everybody else, right? So if someone calls up and says, hey, I need trouble, or I have a sugar addiction, can you help me? And you're like, yeah, we can help you. And by the way, here's a link. Download our ebook, 11 Mind Tools for Instantly Busting Sugar Cravings. It'll give you some tips on how to have some success before we do our first session. Wow, that's amazing, right? You send them that resource for free. They shop around, they call everybody else. The other hypnotist didn't send them anything. Who do you think they're going to go to? The person that gave them more value and education. Business owner calls up and says, hey, I'm struggling with my mindset. You're like, here, I'm going to text you a link to download my mesmerizing mindset secrets checklist. Start going through it. 1, 2, 3, and you're going to start developing a powerful mindset before we even start our session. Even if you don't sign up, I want you to have this free gift because it's going to help you. Wow, that's amazing. They call another business consultant. They send them nothing. Who do you think they're going to go with? An entrepreneur calls you up and says, I'm struggling with these negative thoughts. I can't stop worrying. It's driving me crazy. I need to do something about it. I'm like, hey, I have this Power of Optimism book and I recorded it. I turned it into an audio book. You can listen to it on YouTube for free. Here's the link. Here's the link. They're like, wow, thanks. That's really awesome. Then I'm building a relationship with them. They're listening to my voice. It feels like I'm talking right to you. The other life coach doesn't send them that, right? Or they say, well, you should buy my audiobook. It's $20. I gave it for free because I'm an educational marketer. Who do you think they're going to go to? A prospect calls you up and says they feel stuck growing their business. You send them those 9 video series, when they schedule their free consultation. And then they go to that landing page. Are you a people helping therapist, life coach, wellness expert, or business consultant struggling to grow your practice? Yeah, that's me. Well, I'll help you break the barriers and amplify your success so you can impact more people. Watch the video below and let's do it together. I'm getting them all kinds of value. We're building the relationship. The other online experts don't do anything. They try to sell them right off the bat. I give value first. The educational marketer wins every time. So you might be thinking, all right, well, I don't know what to educate on, Tim, or I'm not good at writing or creating graphics, or I'm not experienced, or I'm brand new, I'm shy. Why would someone want to follow me? That's fine. That's where Force 2 comes in. How to convert more clients by educating your community, even if you've never taught before, even if you don't consider yourself an expert yet, or you're new in the industry. Okay, I got your back, right? So what we're going to do is we're not going to sell people. We're going to serve. We're going to educate. We're going to be collaborators. We're going to work with other people. We don't have to do it by ourselves all the time. That's what most people do, and it's the most difficult way of doing it. We're going to solve problems. We're going to become a reporter. Okay, so like today, right now, you are a reporter. You're investigating me. You're checking out my tools. You're coming up with some aha moments. You're coming up with some ideas. Something is sparking something inside of you that maybe you need to take action in a certain way. Now you take some of what you've learned, like, hey, I was at the Grace seminar with Tim Scher today, and I learned this and I wanted to share it with you. And you make a video. Even if you have no followers, you make your first video today, and I wanted to share this with you. And as you learn and grow, you keep learning and sharing what you're learning. And that's what I do. I learned some and I'm like, hey, I just picked this up today. I just heard this great quote today. Or I was working with my coach, because I have a coach. All the best people in the world have coaches. Do you have a coach? I do. Olympic athletes have coaches. They're the best in the world for a reason, right? So enthusiasm converts as well. Remember, high energy equals high income. I want you to put your hand in the air and I want you to say high energy equals high income. Good, Wendy. Good, Marianne. Good. Good, Helen. Good, Sandra. All right. Glad you're here, Sandra. All right. So how you educate your customers. We're going to read chapters of our book, right? If you have a book, you could read a chapter of a book. You can interview successful clients or successful people, right? You can go to a training like you're doing right now. You can interview industry experts. You can collaborate with referral partners. You can hire a coach. That's one of the smartest things you should do. And what are people asking? What are the questions that they're asking? And answer those questions. Well, you might say, well, how do I know what they're asking? Okay, well, here's a tool. Answerthepublic.com is a place where you can go. You discover what questions people are asking, and then it pulls out content ideas for you. Then you enter a keyword of what you want to talk about. So I talk about anxiety, or I talk about helping life coaches to grow their business. And so you would put that in, and then you see what kind of questions they're asking. And then you use that as a starting point for some videos that you can make. It's also a great tool to help you with SEO, search engine optimization, because if you have a title that says, how do I grow my clients, or how do I get more clients? And I have a video that's called, how do I get more clients? Guess what? I'm going to show up in your feed, right? And so this is what it looks like. So I type in the box, how to eliminate anxiety. It gives me 80 different questions that people are asking online right now about anxiety. I can take every one of these titles and turn it into a video. I can take that video and transcribe it and turn it into an article or a newsletter. I can take that newsletter and I can pull pieces out of it and turn it into blog posts, social media posts. I can strip the audio from the video and turn it into an audio book. It makes it easy to create content. And this is stuff people are already looking for. Another way is to go to Google, type in the same thing, how to eliminate anxiety. This is what people are looking for right now. You can make a title, how to eliminate anxiety forever. Those are the titles of your videos. And then you start cranking out these videos. Then you scroll down to the bottom of that same page. And it says, look, there's related searches. Here's more. You can copy this one, then go back to the top of the page and put that in. And you copy this one, top of the page, put it in. These are all the other things that people are asking help with. And if you have experience and you're an expert in this, now you have your titles. Okay. You can also go on Facebook groups, online communities, places like Medium or articles.com. There's all kinds of places where people are asking for help, begging for it, begging for help. You also can see your industry leaders who's your competition, or who are people that are the leaders at what you do. What videos are getting the most likes? What videos are getting the most comments? Then you make a similar one. You can't steal their stuff, but you can make a similar one and put your spin on it. Okay. So you are literally doing a disservice to others if you aren't sharing your wisdom and offering it with those who are in need. Another thing is that riches are in the niches. You've probably heard that before. So instead of trying to get to everybody, you find a specific type of person or problem that you're really good at, and you really dial in on that. Okay, what problem can you solve? What goal or dream can you help expedite for this particular person? What can you create that is a shortcut for them? Okay, so we dive deep into that in our 3-day practice amplifier program. Now, maybe you're worried that, I don't know how to lead people. Well, you only have to be a chapter ahead. Most people aren't even into personal development. The general public doesn't go to seminars like this. You and I are weird because we all want to reach our full potential, and we want to help others, and we want to be our best, and we want to learn and grow. Most people never do that once they get out of high school. And so they might go to church, but that's about it. And so so remember, you only have to be a little bit ahead. So if you're leading someone down a path and you're like, don't fall in that hole, there's a hole right there, don't fall in that hole. And they're like, okay, and they go around, you just led them. You're a leader now. That takes us to force number 3. We want to create educational marketing that will empower you to take over your market, even if you're not a top coach yet, by building strategic partnerships in your community. Okay, so you work with others. Mark Victor Hansen, he wrote the book Chicken Soup for the Soul with Jack Canfield, and he turned that series into $500 million. He sold 500 million books. They've made way more money, but they sold 500 million books, 500 million books. They didn't do it with one book. They have a chicken soup for the everything, and they collaborated with other authors to write those books, right? So they've collaborated with so many people who've written chicken soup for the soul books for teenagers, for gardeners, for whatever, right? And so he's collaborated, and that's what helped them to grow this giant book empire, right? The last book that him and his wife Crystal wrote together is called Ask, right? Because he says it's all about asking for what you want and building collaborative relationships. So there's 2 ways to stand out through doing this. One is you go direct to your clients, and the other is you work with other experts, right? And you join forces, right? That's what we're doing in our One Belief Away community. We're all joining forces. And I have people that are in there that are business owners and teachers and therapists, obviously, and lawyers, right? Photographers, people that you wouldn't think would want to get into the people helping profession, but everybody has pain. So direct to clients, where you connect with leads by giving them your educational marketing materials directly. You can give them this in a lot of ways, videos and 1-sheet PDFs that they can download that just have 5 steps, super simple, that they can consume in a minute or less, is what's really hot right now. So 1-sheets, audiobooks, videos, PDFs, because people like to consume information in different ways. So you have different ways that you provide that for them. The second way is collaborating with other experts. So you create co-branded educational materials that help you reach the masses and share leads. Create mutually beneficial relationships where you're getting your leads to their desired results more quickly, right? So let's say that Wendy, you have 10,000 followers and I have 10,000 followers. If we do something together and we put it out together, then all of a sudden we're reaching 20,000 people. But you didn't have to get the other 10,000. You just borrowed my list. Right? So now we have 20,000 people because we collaborated. Also, I'll say, Wendy, what are you great at? Give me your best 5 tips. What am I great at? My 5 tips. I use ChatGPT. We'll spit out something. We'll edit it. I'll put it together for us. I'll give it to you. It's a 1-sheet PDF. You share with everybody. I share with everybody. We both grow our list. Win-win. We both did half the work. I usually will volunteer to do all the work because then people love me. And then people who would say, no, I'm not doing that, will say, yeah, I'll do that. Right? Like I wrote the One Belief Away book with Joe Vitale, but Joe didn't write that book. I did. I wrote the whole thing, right? I interviewed him a couple of times and then I transcribed it and put it into chapters. Joe didn't have to lift a finger for any of that. And because he knows me and I helped him, with some personal stuff, which he says online. When I said, well, you want to help me with this book? He said, yes. Right. So that's how we collaborate. Now Joe has millions of followers and now I'm in front of millions of people because of my relationship with Joe. Right. So I want you to ask yourself, who can you collaborate with for a joint training? Right. I had Chris Widener. He's a Hall of Fame motivational speaker. I had him on my podcast. We got along really good. We put a program together. Hey, Chris, we should do a program. Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do it. Okay. So who can help you reach your goals faster and get to a level beyond what you even thought was possible? Right. Like it took me 4 months to get Randy Gage. He's a Hall of Fame speaker, big in the network marketing industry. And he doesn't partner like this with other people. He likes to do his own thing. But I'm very good OBA hypnotist, so I talked him into it. And we did a prosperity warrior training, and it was great. It was a ton of fun, right? So Randy's a hard guy to get a hold of, but we did a program together. So if I call or text Randy now, he replies because we have a relationship now. So you want to ask the who, the what, and the how. Who already has an audience and a following that is made up of your ideal clients, right? So Amber Lee has a whole bunch of entrepreneurs and in her audience that follow her in the health industry. And so I'm like, well, you're a wellness expert. You should learn my marketing techniques, or you should add the one belief away method to your tools. It'll transform your clients in ways that will make you stand out. Wellness experts don't know how to upgrade unconscious beliefs. If you're a wellness expert who does, you will own your category. You will own your industry, right? And so keep thinking that's the who. Now the what. What can you create together to educate your mutual audience and give them great results or move them towards your desired outcome? So Ray Higdon and his wife run a huge network marketing company. They've got a $100,000 inner circle coaching club, and I'm a mentor for their coaches, right? I came in, I've worked with Ray, I've worked with their coaches, and and so now I got in front of that whole entire audience. I didn't have to build the railroad station, the cars, the track, anything. As Brendan Bouchard once said, just get a long hook, and when the train comes by, just hook on to somebody else's train, right? And I thought that's a brilliant metaphor, and so that's what I've been doing all these years. And now if I need a favor or something, I'll text Ray, and he'll be like, I got your back, brother, right? Because I've provided that value for them. I don't go in saying, what can I get? I go in saying, what can I give? Put your hand in the air and say, I'm a giver. I'm a giver, okay? Good. Now I want you to say, I'm next. I'm next. Okay, good. All right. So now, how can you educate? What problems, needs, wants, desires do the people that you are collaborating with have? Not just the clients, but the people you're collaborating with, right? What are they struggling with? So when I first met the brilliant Les Brown, one of the best motivational speakers to ever live, and I was nervous, and I'm like, how am I going to help Les Brown with anything? But I had a conversation, and he said, he was impressed with our conversation. So he said, I have a couple things I want you to help me with, this, and this, and this. And I said, I'm on it, Les. I worked all night, stayed up all night, produced what he needed the very next day. He was shocked. He's like, whoa, this is great. He says, how much do I owe you? And I'm like, nothing. It's been an honor to help you. I've been listening to you for years, and so I'm honored to repay the favor. And he said, well, that's wonderful. And then he asked me the question that I love to hear, and I hear it a lot because I give. And he said, Tim, how can I help you? And I'm like, oh, can you introduce me to Brian Tracy? And he did. Okay, that's how I put together the Legend Summit, one person at a time. How can I offer tremendous value? When the pandemic hit and everybody lost their speaking gigs and everybody was like, what am I going to do? Everybody's staying at home. Nobody's getting coaching and counseling. Nobody's coming in. How am I going to support my family? What are we going to do? I'd put together an online Legend Summit. It was one of the biggest accomplishments of my life. I can't believe that I did it even still. We got some of the most extraordinary people in the world. Some of them aren't even with us anymore, like Bob Proctor. Right? And we had the most amazing conversations. I did 3 of those Legend Summits. I had extraordinary people that come together. I remember one of my friends, they don't get more famous than Bob Proctor in our space. And I had one of my friends call me up freaking out. He's like, do you know that Bob Proctor is promoting you right now and promoting your event? And I'm like, I did not know that. That's amazing. Okay. So that's the power of collaboration. So I already told you the story about me and Joe working on this book together. So if you haven't bought this book, you should. It's awesome. It'll help you a lot. Community influencers, actual people who will connect you with larger networks within your own community. People are always trying to save the world. Did you save your community? Start there, right? And so look at the people you can work with, everyday alliances. Who are your referral partners? Professionals whose businesses overlap with yours. They're not direct competitors, although I've partnered up with people who are doing the same thing as me, although most people aren't doing the same thing as me because my one belief away method is just a little bit better. And so, all right, sometimes a lot better. But you can look, I've worked with doctors, dentists, plastic surgeons, acupuncturists, physicians, assistants, hospitals, retreat centers, personal trainers. I mean, you name it. There's so many people you can partner with. And this is what I did. I call up and I say, hey, I'm going to put together a guide. If you can give me your 3 best tips, I'll put my 3 best tips together. We'll put it out in a 1 PDF. I'll take care of it. Send it over. If you like it, put it in your waiting room. Yeah, that sounds great. Okay. Then we crank out something, the power of OBA hypnosis and medicine for total health transformation. And now we have a collaborative relationship and I'm getting a stream of clients coming in. It might only be 1 or 2 a month from that place, but you know, if a client's worth $1,000 or a client's worth $3,000, you know, then that's $1,000 to $3,000 a month, 0 advertising just coming in, right? You can do it with dental offices. I have, right? Overcoming dental fears with OBA hypnosis. You do it with nutritionists. Unleash the mind's potential with hypno-nutrition. All right? You can do it with chiropractors. Stress relief through OBA hypnosis and chiropractic adjustment. You just go on and on and on, right? Or I might put stress relief through chiropractic adjustment and OBA hypnosis. I put them first instead of me. Okay, so you can crank these titles out. You can use ChatGPT to crank out those titles really fast. You want to be seen as an innovative master educator, an educational marketer who is the local authority where other professionals and movers and shakers are now wanting to work with you. You keep putting yourself out there. People call me up all the time. They're like, Tim, you're everywhere. I know. I do that on purpose, right? Didn't happen overnight. It took a long time, but I'm everywhere now because I'm not just an ordinary coach or a therapist or a consultant. I'm the educator of my specialty in my community. I'm an OBA hypnotist who frees people from, you know, the limiting beliefs from childhood trauma, right? Or from the fear of just not being good enough, right? And I'm great at it. And now I'm teaching others to be great at it. And it creates a quantum leap in your practice, right? When you apply everything that I just taught you, and it's just a tiny little bit of what's possible and what you can do, but when you put this into action, it will create a quantum leap in your business, an advanced change, a sudden increase, a dramatic advance. We want to skip steps so that we can skyrocket our business because we're in the business of helping people. And people need it more now than ever before. Anxiety and depression are on the rise. It's terrible. And we need to step in and lean in together and get in front of them and help them while we help ourselves because we need it too, right? If you're ready for a quantum leap, then I want you to put your hand in the air and say yes. Good. All right, wonderful. People say, well, does this really work? Can it work for me? Yes. Right? Our fears shut us down more than anything else. Why are you here today? You could have been anywhere. You're here. Why? Because you want education and you probably have some kind of pain, something that you're trying to solve. You want to learn from me, and I want you to notice that the education and the training that I'm giving you is now positioning me as an authority on this subject that you are interested in. We must view ourselves in the same way. We must view ourselves as community educators. You're here because I'm providing you education, right? And then the education's so good that you keep coming back. Now, even though I've talked so much about marketing and the importance of marketing, there are 3 pillars to grow your business: mindset, skill set, and your marketing. Out of those three, which do you think is most important? I want you to put it in the chat. Which do you think is most important? Put M for mindset, S for skill set, or MS for marketing systems. Which do you think is most important? Your mindset, your skills, or how good of a marketer you are? I'm seeing mindset, 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 and you are correct. Now, I did not know that. I thought it was marketing, that I'm just missing the secret marketing pieces, and then all my dreams will come true. But what I learned is that it's my fears that are holding me back, and that if I just do what I already know, and I have the confidence to do it, I can make any marketing plan work. It's not a lack of marketing. My goodness, you can go do a search on marketing, how to grow my business, and you're going to have 1 million hits. Okay? It's not the marketing. It is important. You have to have it. But you've got to develop all three areas. You got to have incredible self-belief. If you don't have 100% self-belief, you need to have it. Okay? And then if your skills aren't awesome, if you're not producing amazing results for clients, you need to up your game. Right? But mindset is the most important, because limiting beliefs sabotage us more than anything else. We struggle with believing in ourselves. So we have the imposter syndrome, self-doubt, procrastination, self-sabotage, fear. We struggle with producing consistently miraculous results for our clients. We struggle with having a clear plan or a system for getting and keeping clients, and automating it, right? So that's me when I was 8 years old, riddled with anxiety and self-doubt. I had a friend who was 2 years older than me that liked the rock band Kiss. So that's what my friend did. He would stick his tongue out and do that with his hand. I didn't know what the heck that meant, but I did it because I wanted him to like me, because I had no self-esteem, and I was always chasing approval. I was always chasing validation, and I was always trying to do whatever I could to feel like I mattered and I was enough, because I didn't feel like I did. Then I took my first psychology class in high school and decided that I'm going to figure me out. So I devoted my whole life to psychology and human behavior, because maybe I could then figure out how to stop sabotaging myself and have a little bit of inner peace. Okay, so I got all the degrees and all these certifications because I thought that if you invest in yourself, then, and that's all you do is your personal growth, then you're going to have unlimited clients. And I was wrong, right? What got me clients was being an educator. So the best thing that I ever did was I hired a coach, and I was broke. I couldn't afford the coach. I had no money. I had a credit card that had $5,000 on it. The first coach I hired was $5,000. The next one was $12,000, and then it just kept going from there. Right. So, but I didn't have $5,000. So I maxed out my credit card to hire this coach, and he taught me to be an educational marketer. So I started doing it and getting into newspapers, and I started my first practice in 1995 with no experience on how to do anything. All my relatives worked at the steel mills. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. I didn't know what an entrepreneur was. I didn't know any business owners, right? I just heard the business owners are jerks because they're all rude and they're all greedy, because that's what people think. And that's false. Some of the most generous people I've ever met are people who have money because they have extra money to give away, right? It was my wife's idea that I should start my practice, not mine. So I kept being an educational marketer even way back then. Hey, I had a little bit of hair. Look at my bangs. Look at that. Nice. Then I learned to become an educational marketer, and it changed my business and it changed my life, right? So I struggled. It was so cold when I started out. I'm making hypnosis tapes on jam boxes. It was so cold in the winter, we didn't want to turn the heat on because that's expensive. So we just wrapped up in big blankets. I had a tiny little 100 square foot office with a tiny little couch that my wife got from Goodwill, delivered for $35. Crazy. It was our fancy car, the Woody, but I love that car because it started. Right? Most of my other cars I ever had didn't even start. Okay, so I started from humble beginnings, and I stayed with it. I kept doing it. And then I ended up running 6-figure hypnosis practices for 19 years straight. Despite of the 9/11, the financial crash of 2009, and this pandemic that we just went through. I facilitated tens of thousands of sessions. I've collected over 1,000 testimonials. I've won the biggest awards from the biggest associations in my industry. I've won awards for motivational speaking, and I'm a best-selling author. So I pretty much accomplished every goal that us coaches and and consultants want to accomplish. Now I'm spending the second half of my life giving back and helping everybody else do the same. Okay, so I facilitated hundreds of group coaching programs. I've helped companies earn millions of dollars in revenue. So if you're a team of one or you're a team of 1,000, I can help you. I've done lots of TV and my How to Be Mesmerizing podcast. I founded the Hypnotism Academy of Indiana in 2007. Started helping my students win. One of my best achievements with my students was I won the Hypnotist of the Year award. And then years later, one of my students, Randy Light, won the same award. And it was even better when my student won that award, which now makes me want to, I don't need to be the star. I've done that. I want you to be the star now. I've got my degrees in psychology. I've done TED Talks, so whatever it is that you want to do, I've helped companies make $100 million. So, oh, there's Randy. I forgot I had this in here. She won. I've helped so many of my students become best-selling authors and get over their fears. So many talented people. I have a feeling that you are extremely talented, but there's something getting in your way. And it's either with your mindset, your skills, or your marketing. And I can help you with any of that, right? And so I didn't start out with all this credentials and my brand and all the fancy awards and everything. I started out with nothing, and I figured this out. But I did it the way that we all do it, through massive trial and error. It was very expensive. I spent $254,000 on my education over the last 30 years. And what did it for me was I kept hiring coaches and then getting in communities. And then that is what created quantum leaps for me. And so now I've built our One Belief Away community, and you might be in our private Facebook group right now. That's free, right? And I give tremendous training for free. And then I have some other programs that cost a little bit. And then I have the certification, which is definitely an investment, but you can make it back in a few months. And then you'll have the tools to build a 6 or 7 figure, the same tools I'm using right now. So, and my best accomplishment is that I've had the privilege of transforming the lives of thousands of people all over the world. And it's been one of the greatest honors of my life to free people from the worst pain that you can have. And, it's amazing. It's beautiful. I've gotten so many letters and emails and videos and people that have put their whole family in a car and drove over to my office for hugs, so we can just hug. It's amazing. So it's not a job for me. It is a passion and a mission. So that's my why. I'm building an army of healers who will collaborate together to end needless emotional suffering for generations of people using my One Belief Away method. So this can help you no matter where you're at. So if you're a coach or a consultant looking for a way to stand out and you're brand new, if you're in the business and you're doing good, but you need more momentum, or maybe you're very experienced, you've been in the game 20 years and you're looking for that next competitive advantage, you want to go to the next level, we can help you. And you do not have to do this on your own, because that is the worst way of doing it. It's the most expensive way too. So if I share an upcoming opportunity that's coming up for how you can create your next quantum leap, is it okay if I share that with you? If it's okay, give me a thumbs up. If it's not okay, then leave. All right. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm looking for people who are ready. The people that aren't ready, leave. Go. Thanks for being a part of this. I appreciate you, but you're not my ideal client. I'm looking for people who are ready to take that next step. Okay. It's an awesome step. It's going to be awesome for you. You're going to love that you're doing this, but you got to draw the line for you too, because you don't want a bunch of tire kickers and a bunch of takers, right? They're going to waste your time and energy. You want people who are ready for change. All right. So I want to invite you to my 3-day mindset, skill set, and marketing immersion mastery class. It's my One Belief Away practice amplifier program. It is awesome. It's 3 days of creating extraordinary results for you and your business. Okay. In 3 days, we're going to unlock a 6 and 7 figure market proof blueprint for not just surviving in the people helping industry, but actually thriving, no matter how much uncertainty is out there. And there's always massive uncertainty. I'm going to share with you my expert top 1% coaching strategies to help you stand out from your competition and secure the future that you want with consistent client flow and outstanding results. So save your seat or get left behind. We're doing this September 13th to the 15th. And so you've got some time to put it in your calendar, mark those days, but schedule right now, because I'm taking 30 people through this, right? And I have tens of thousands of people who I'll be reaching through these programs, and I have millions of people who are accessing my stuff every day, and I'm only doing with 30 people so I can give you more personal time. That's something that people were asking for, and so I'm going to cap how many people. So practiceamplifier.com, go get your ticket right now. Okay, learn the exact 6 and 7 figures that I've used to be known globally and in my community that converts ideal clients, ideal leads into high-paying clients while improving the lives of millions of people. So I'm going to teach you a new approach to increase your income through what we call the levels of communication, and how to scale your business to a higher level by becoming an innovator in your community. Then I'm going to teach you the essential mindset shift and that you have to take, so it's going to establish you as the local authority. Now, I've given you some of those today, right? Be it an educational marketer, providing more value than everybody else, getting systems set up so that you're providing value and answering questions for your clients before they ever have to talk to you, which will increase your conversion rates, right? So I've given you some of it, but there's a lot more. I'm going to show you how to generate and nurture leads while you're sleeping by creating automated marketing systems. So that, and I'm going to teach you what the best marketers in the world are doing. My coach, Krista, is one of the best marketers in the world. She was just on the stage with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, right? And so I would think most would agree that Tony Robbins is the #1 guy in the people helping profession. And so we're going to, but he's doing all the rock concerts and still using, change states and NLP techniques. The One Belief Away method produces results faster, and you can't be Tony Robbins, right? So you'll notice my One Belief Away method is not called the Tim Scher method, because it's not about me. It's a method that anybody can use. Sandra's going to use this method and she's going to blow it out of the water. She's going to help 1 million people, right? She's going to transform lives using this, because the method is so awesome. So it's not based on personality. People will be like, oh, well, Tim, it's just because you're, energized, or all these people, or you got all this money. No. It's not that at all. I didn't have any money. I didn't know any of those people, and I had no confidence. I was negative in confidence. I had horrible anxiety. My therapist would say I had generalized anxiety disorder. So I was so scared all the time, right? I would have never done a program like this in the past. So I have trained myself to be this way. I wasn't born this way. I trained myself to be this way. And so you can learn how to do it too by just going through the systems. How much is all of this going to cost you? $47.99. You can breathe now. Okay. I decided to give this program. Well, I didn't decide. My coach did. Because I would have charged you easily $1,000 for this program, $3,500 for this program. My coach said, you're going to find people out there that have been through so many programs like this that they're going to be afraid that this is just another one. Show them what you can do and just get them in so that the money's not an option. If you can't enforce if you cannot invest $47.99 into your business, which you can write off, then you shouldn't be playing in this game anyway, right? Because you won't last. So for that incredible price, you're going to get 16 hours of top-notch coaching. It'll cost you $5,000 to $10,000 if you want to play with me for that coaching, just you and me, right? If I even take you, because I'm not taking individual clients, right? So you get 16 hours of top-notch, my best coaching for $48, and I'm going to give you a whole bunch of other cool stuff too. Okay. One of the biggest things that you're going to get is I'm going to demonstrate the One Belief Away method. I'm going to take you through experiences that are going to find your deepest fears and beliefs and get rid of them. Imagine you have a block and it wasn't there anymore. What would be possible for you? And the answer is anything, right? And so the live demonstrations are amazing. We'll take people that are totally procrastinating, and in 3 minutes, they'll be super motivated. And I'm going to demonstrate how to do that. Okay. So I'm not going to teach you the One Belief Away method. I'm not going to teach you how to hypnotize people. I'm not going to teach you that during this. This is all focused on developing your mindset, developing your marketing systems, and giving you tools for how to grow a practice, right? And then I'll invite you to go into our One Belief Away certification program, right? Which I'm not sure when we're doing the next one. So I'm still working on that one. We do have one that's coming up this coming Monday. So if you feel like I am called, I'm doing it, it's an investment for sure, right? It's an investment. But if you feel like this is speaking to you, and you're someone who you have an opportunity that we don't know when it's going to happen again, and you're called to strike when that iron's hot, and you're willing to do what it takes, then you can join us on our certification that starts on Monday. And then we will change your life, and we will change the course of your business, and we will help you build a legacy that is extraordinary. If you're interested in that, then you reach out to me. Either way, go to practiceamplifier.com and enroll in this program. As soon as you enroll, you're going to get the Take Action Workbook, because this program's not going to launch for a couple of weeks, but you'll get the tools immediately. Right? So we're going to give you the Take Action Workbook. You're going to use this to create a business plan. And it's going to help you to know who to get to, how to get to them, what to teach. We're going to put all in there. It's a $100 program, but we're going to give it to you for free. Right? So as soon as you enroll, then you're going to get that playbook. We're also going to give you the Abundance 2023 playbook, because people need so much help building a prosperity mindset. So we built a program in there that helps you to do that. We also have the content generator. We just finished this one. This is really good. And so we updated it. So you'll always know what to do and how to teach and what to share, because most people get lost. And if they don't know what to do and they don't have clarity, they don't do anything. Right? And that's where procrastination comes in. And then I'm going to give you a digital copy of my One Belief Away book as well, because it's awesome and you should have it. Okay? So stop letting the what ifs keep you up at night. It's not enough to know something intellectually. You need the personal support, the feedback, the guidance to put what you know into action and then turn it into a system. Too many of us are getting information like this and then going back to our little offices and doing it all by ourselves. And that's a mistake, because you can't see your own blind spots, and so you're wasting time. Progress is happiness. Commitment is more important than convenience. Put your hand in the air and say commitment over convenience. That is essential. You have to commit. So September 13th to the 15th, it's going to be on Zoom. We're going to go from 8 to 2. That's Pacific time. Eastern time, that's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. In Australia or the UK, it's in the middle of the night. We have people from all over the world that show up. Decide what inner voice you're going to listen to. My coach says it's like we got two wolves in our head, the good wolf and the bad wolf. Whatever one you feed is the one that's going to be the strongest. So you have to feed the good wolf and surround yourself not only with people who support you, but with people who are headed in the same direction as you. And most of us don't have that unless you find a community, and I've built one for us. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest men in the world, said, invest in yourself and invest in your ability to persuasively communicate. The best investment you can have to protect you against the uncertainty of the world is building a business and building your skills to run it successfully. And you'll always be in demand, right? But what people are missing is the GPS and the gas to get them to their goal. So the GPS are the goals, the plans, and the systems and strategies. And then the gas is the guidance, the accountability, and the support. So this is personal for me, right? And I hope it's personal for you. There is no time to waste. Mental health issues are getting worse, and large corporations are actively working to steal away our business as well, with commoditized AI technology and cheap apps that do little to help people and their emotional suffering. So they want to have these $7 apps or these $20 robots doing therapy instead of us, right? The whole acting industry is on strike right now. SAG, all the actors are picketing in front of Warner Brothers and Netflix right now because they are using AI to rip off the actors and the writers, right? They're literally taking an image of you, or they're taking a sample of your voice, and they'll give you $100 for it. They'll put it in their computer, and they will use your voice and your image as background characters for as many movies as they want, for as long as they want. So they're basically stealing you. They're stealing your image and your identity and your voice. They're putting it into computers, and they're CGI-ing you into movies without your permission, and there's nothing you can do about it because you signed the contract to make that $100. So they are on strike right now. Netflix doesn't care because they turn out they're a greedy company. I didn't know that, but it turns out that Netflix is one of the bad guys, sadly. So anyway, It's happening in our personal development industry as well. There's a lot of internet marketers that aren't coaches out there that are flooding the industry with vitamins that are going to cure you and make you happy. And it's all a sham, right? That's not going. Now, vitamins are healthy for you, but they don't change unconscious beliefs. No vitamins in the world will make you go from I'm not good enough to I am. I'm not safe to I am. I'm not worthy to I'm more than worthy. Okay? So our Achievers motto is invest in the skills and pay for the speed. Invest in the skills, pay for the speed. As with most things in life, you either need to invest your time or your money to gain skills and expertise. Many entrepreneurs are convinced that they can figure it out all by themselves because of fear, ego, or scarcity thinking. Perhaps you can, but it's going to come at a cost, right? All the insecurity you're going to have, the lack of clarity, the trial and error approach, wasted time, energy, income, throwing it at the wall, see what sticks. I've already invested the 35 years and 6 figures for you, so you can start where I'm at now and go from there, and it'll change your stars. Now, the only reason I'm in front of you now is because I took advantage of every opportunity like the one that you have in front of you. So please be a wisdom collector. Be a doer. I say that all the time. Be a doer, not a dabbler. Put your hand in the air and say, I'm a doer. That's right. That's right. You don't have to do this by yourself. That way sucks. You can join us. You can go through our 3-day event. You can go through our OBA certification. You can go through our OBA Facebook group that's free, right? You went through this program for free so that we can band together, we can work together, and we can transform the world together. You are just one belief away from having a huge breakthrough in your practice, okay? So it's September 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's only $48 for the whole 3 days. Go to practiceamplifier.com and enroll now. Woo! All right. We're done. Thanks, everybody. Have a great